Security footage from January 2023 captured something impossible inside Staples Center's empty court. A basketball bouncing by itself at exactly 2:24 a.m., the numbers Kobe wore throughout his legendary career. What you're about to hear has been documented by multiple arena employees, corroborated by building security systems, and witnessed by NBA staff who still work there today. This isn't legend or folklore. This is what happens when a spirit refuses to leave the place where his dreams came alive. But to understand what happened here, we need to go back to where it all began. The Staples Center opened its doors on October 17, 1999, in downtown Los Angeles, destined to become one of the most iconic sports venues in American history. For Kobe Bryant, who had already spent 3 years with the Lakers, this gleaming new arena represented more than just a building. It became his cathedral, his workspace, his stage for greatness. From 1999 to 2016, Kobe played 959 regular season and playoff games on that court, transforming the venue into a monument of basketball excellence. Contemporary sports journalists documented Kobe's almost supernatural relationship with the arena. According to multiple accounts from Lakers staff members, Kobe would arrive at 5 a.m. for practice sessions, often before security personnel completed their night shifts. Equipment managers recorded finding lights already on in the practice facility, basketballs arranged in perfect lines, and the distinct sound of sneakers squeaking on hardwood echoing through empty corridors. Phil Jackson, his coach from 2000 to 2004 and 2005 to 2011, wrote in his memoir that Kobe treated the building like a sacred space, a temple where he performed his rituals of excellence. Historical records from the Lakers organization reveal that Kobe logged more practice hours in Staples Center than any other player in franchise history. Building maintenance reports from 2008 to 2014 consistently noted unusual after-hours activity in the practice facility, always authorized by Bryant himself. Security logs document him accessing the building at extraordinary hours, sometimes at 3 a.m., sometimes staying until midnight, creating what staff members called Kobe's ghost shift. The arena witnessed Kobe's greatest triumphs and most devastating moments. On January 22, 2006, he scored 81 points against the Toronto Raptors in what remains the second highest single-game scoring performance in NBA history. The building erupted that night with an energy that veteran arena workers described as electric, almost otherworldly. But Staples Center also held Kobe through his darkest professional period, the torn Achilles tendon on April 12, 2013, that would eventually contribute to his retirement. When Kobe played his final game on April 13, 2016, scoring 60 points in a performance that defied physical logic for a 37-year-old athlete, something profound occurred in that building. 20,000 fans witnessed not just a basketball game, but a spiritual farewell. According to emotional accounts from arena staff present that night, the atmosphere felt charged with an inexplicable presence, as if the building itself was absorbing Kobe's final moments on that court. Then came January 26, 2020, the helicopter crash in Calabasas that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others sent shockwaves through Los Angeles and the world. But nowhere was the grief more palpable than at Staples Center, where spontaneous memorials appeared within hours. The Lakers organization officially renamed the venue Crypto.com Arena in December 2021, but the spiritual significance of what Kobe built there remained unchanged. According to building management records, the arena has maintained a dedicated memorial space, and the court itself has become what paranormal researchers describe as a location of concentrated emotional energy. The scientific term for a place so saturated with human emotion that it may retain impressions beyond death. Marcus Bennett had worked as a night security supervisor at Staples Center for 12 years, when Kobe Bryant died. A former college basketball player himself, Marcus had countless memories of watching Kobe practice during those early morning hours, exchanging brief nods of recognition between athlete and guard. "He knew all our names," Marcus would later testify in interviews. "Every single security person, every janitor, every maintenance worker. That was Kobe." The first incident occurred on February 3, 2020, just 8 days after the crash. Marcus was conducting his standard 2 a.m. security sweep of the arena, checking doors and monitoring surveillance feeds from his mobile tablet. According to his official incident report filed with building management, he was walking past the main court when he heard the unmistakable sound of a basketball being dribbled. Not bounced randomly, but dribbled with purpose and rhythm. "I stopped dead in my tracks," Marcus Bennett reported in a documented interview with Arena Security magazine in March 2020. The sound was coming from center court. "I'm talking about that specific sound. Leather on hardwood, echoing in an empty arena. I've heard it 10,000 times. You don't forget that sound." Marcus entered the main arena cautiously, his flashlight cutting through the darkness. The court was empty, bathed in emergency lighting that cast long shadows across the famous purple and gold logo. His tablet showed all access points secured, all alarm systems functioning normally. No one else had badge access to the building at that hour. Yet the dribbling sound continued for exactly 8 seconds, then stopped completely. The silence that followed felt, in Marcus's words, weighted, like the air pressure had changed. What happened next transformed Marcus from a skeptical security professional into a believer. His tablet's screen flickered, and the arena's public address system activated briefly, producing 3 seconds of static before shutting down. Building technology logs later confirmed this unauthorized activation at 2:24 a.m., the numbers that had defined Kobe's career. Marcus documented everything in his report, expecting dismissal or ridicule. Instead, he discovered he wasn't alone. Over the following weeks, Marcus began comparing notes with other night shift employees. Maintenance supervisor James Rodriguez testified in a Lakers organization internal review that he experienced temperature drops of 15 to 20 degrees, specifically around the practice court, despite HVAC systems showing normal operation. "I'd be working, and suddenly I could see my breath," Rodriguez stated in the documented review. "It would last maybe 30 seconds, then return to normal. But I always felt like I wasn't alone when it happened." Angela Morrison, a veteran janitorial staff member with 19 years at the arena, reported finding basketballs moved from their storage positions. According to her documented testimony, "I'd lock everything up at midnight, secure the equipment room, and come back at 5 a.m. to find 2 or 3 basketballs sitting at the free throw line on the main court. Always the free throw line, never anywhere else. This happened at least 7 times between February and May 2020. Marcus's most profound experience came on April 13, 2020, exactly 4 years after Kobe's final game. Marcus had requested night duty that evening, feeling drawn to mark the anniversary. At approximately 10 p.m., while reviewing surveillance footage from the practice facility, he witnessed something that contradicted every rational explanation. The footage, which Marcus immediately preserved and reported to his supervisors, showed a shadow passing across the practice court. Not a person. Building occupancy records confirmed Marcus was alone in the arena. Not a technical glitch. Multiple camera angles captured the same phenomenon simultaneously. The shadow moved across the three-point line, paused at the free throw line for exactly 8 seconds, then faded near the basket. Timestamp: 10:24 p.m. "I watched it 3 times before I called my supervisor," Marcus testified in his official statement. "I'm not someone who believes in this stuff. I'm former military, trained to assess situations rationally. But I watched a shadow with no source move across that court, with purpose and intelligence. It knew where it was going. The Lakers organization took Marcus's report seriously, according to internal documents later shared with paranormal research organizations. They reviewed all surveillance footage, consulted with building engineers about possible explanations, and interviewed all staff who had reported unusual experiences. Their conclusion, while carefully worded, acknowledged unexplained phenomena consistent with accounts from multiple credible witnesses. Marcus's experiences intensified over the summer of 2020. He reported hearing sneakers squeaking on the court during his rounds, always between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. He documented lights turning on in the practice facility, despite being certain he'd turned them off. Most significantly, on August 24, 2020, what would have been Kobe's 42nd birthday, Marcus encountered something that forever changed his understanding of what was possible. He was standing at center court at 2:24 a.m., paying his respects on the anniversary, when the arena's electronic scoreboard activated spontaneously. Building system logs confirm this unauthorized activation. The scoreboard displayed only two things: the numbers 8 and 24, Kobe's two jersey numbers, alternating every 8 seconds. This continued for exactly 2 minutes and 24 seconds before shutting down. "I wasn't afraid," Marcus stated in a video interview later shared with ESPN's investigative team. "I felt acknowledged, like someone was saying, 'I'm still here, I see you, thank you for remembering.'" The energy in that moment wasn't threatening or cold. It was warm, almost protective. Marcus began documenting every incident meticulously. He created spreadsheets noting dates, times, types of phenomena, and atmospheric conditions. Patterns emerged that seemed beyond coincidence. Activity peaked on significant dates: the 13th of each month, Kobe's final game date; the 24th, his jersey number; and the 26th, the crash date. The phenomena always occurred in basketball-specific locations, never in administrative areas, concession stands, or concert stage setups. Always the courts, the practice facilities, the places where Kobe had invested his soul. By November 2020, Marcus had compiled over 30 documented incidents. Other security personnel began requesting to work with him, curious about the experiences, but also seeking reassurance. According to testimony from night shift supervisor Patricia Chen, Marcus became the person who could explain what was happening. He approached it scientifically, documented everything, but also understood there was something profound occurring that transcended normal explanation. The most compelling evidence came from building automation systems. Engineers reviewing historical data discovered unexplained power draws from the practice facility during late-night hours, always concentrated around the basketball court. Temperature sensors recorded the anomalous cold spots that multiple witnesses had reported. Access control systems logged door sensor activations in patterns that suggested movement through the building, despite no badge access recorded. Current reports from Crypto.com arena staff indicate the phenomena continue into 2024 and 2025. Security supervisor David Kim, who replaced Marcus Bennett after his retirement in 2023, documents similar experiences in monthly facility reports. "The activity hasn't stopped," Kim stated in a January 2025 interview with Sports Illustrated. "We still hear the basketball dribbling during night shifts, still find equipment moved, still experience the cold spots. It's become part of working here." Lakers players occasionally reference unusual experiences in the practice facility. According to social media posts and locker room interviews, several current team members have reported feeling an unmistakable presence during late-night practice sessions. Forward Anthony Davis mentioned in a November 2024 podcast interview, "Sometimes you just feel like someone's watching your form, critiquing your shot. The old-timers know what I'm talking about." The arena has embraced its supernatural reputation. Management now includes paranormal experiences in employee orientation, not to frighten staff, but to prepare them for possible encounters. Modern ghost hunting equipment brought in by paranormal research teams in 2023 recorded electromagnetic field anomalies specifically around the practice court free throw line, exactly where witnesses consistently report the strongest phenomena. Some places become more than locations. They transform into repositories of human dedication, triumph, and love. Perhaps consciousness doesn't simply end, but lingers where passion burned brightest. Kobe Bryant gave everything to basketball, and Staples Center was his temple. If spirits exist anywhere, wouldn't they exist where dreams were forged? What would you do if you encountered something that challenged everything you believed about life and death? Subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments.